Ko Holoyumla, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders that prophesied and rule well for the hope of 144 and the one third of Yasharallah, who this world refers to as Israel, starting at the house of great millstone. Shalom to you, Akim, who teach and learn in sincerity. Shalom to the Akwith, who learn in sincerity. It's your brother, Kanan. This is going to be a quick hit. This is called Boots on the Ground. Fair use, fair use, fair use copyright. I am not selling a product. This is strictly for educational purposes. Hey, before I play this is the snippet. I never liked these songs. I never liked stepping songs, period. And this is definitely not the time to be Murphy. This is yo supposedly 803 fresh. Well, we gonna see how fresh he is and these people.
Hit me one time. Oh, 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 I got my boots on the ground. Yeah. Where the fans at? Hit me one time.
Where they at?
Pretty hard-hitting questions from Maria.
Okay. Salakia. Now, when you hear boots to the ground, this is him right here. You thinking entertaining. Boots on the ground. Look at them. They having a good time partying. It's partying. Look at Jake. Two-third Jake. Look, this hey, it's all laughing. Look, it's all funny, ain't it? But here go the real boots on the ground right here.
This is Dabu 7. You were looking at a barrage of warheads, a cluster that was seen flying over the skies of Israel, freaking a lot of people out in the area. We also have Tel Aviv getting hit. As you can see here, overnight it caused blackouts in some areas, although Tel Aviv looks to be up and operational at the moment. And we are also getting word that the 82nd Airborne Division of the U.S. military has been put on high alert.
So that's the real definition of boots on the ground, not some stomping and dancing. Okay?
Pretty hard-hitting questions from Maria Bartiromo to Lindsey Graham. Maria Bartiromo explains for the Fox News audience the peril caused by this, the economic destruction. Take a quick listen to Maria.
Get your take on all this. $1 billion a day. Oil prices up 27% in a week. You've got the president wanting a $1.5 trillion defense budget in 27. The idea that the Pentagon is about to come to you for $50 billion on these strikes to Iran. How are you going to answer?
Best money ever spent. Was it worth to America to take down a religious Nazi regime who's trying to build a nuclear weapon to deliver to America? That's a really good investment. They're going to fall. It's not if the regime falls, it's a matter of when. And you didn't mention today, and nobody has, quite frankly, we now know they had enough 60% enriched uranium to make 11 bombs.
Hold on now. Let's get it. Okay? This is Psalms 58, verse 3. The wicked. Who are the wicked? You was just looking at an example. Edom, Esau, the self-proclaimed white man. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. As soon as they come out their mama's stomach and they touch the day of the breath of daylight, they're liars. Programmed liars through who? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf otter that stoppeth her ear. So no matter what proof you come with, what logic, they're going to reject it. Why? Because this is in this man's nature. Okay?
That you obliterated their uranium and their bomb-making capabilities about 8 months ago. This is all absolute BS. Lindsey Graham also is slurring like he's drunk all of the time.
This is China's nightmare.
Yeah.
This
All the time. In this clip, he slurs even more.
Where to start? Number one, how are you going to better secure the Strait of Hormuz so that we don't see more spikes in the price of oil? Number two, are you telling us you want the United Arab Emirates and the Saudis to lash out and strike Iran right now?
I want them to get in the fight. We sell them weapons. Iran is striking their country. They have good capability. About the Strait of Hormuz, what if the regime fell? then you never had anybody in Iran in the future that wants to close the strait. What if you had Iran with people who don't want to build a nuclear weapon to kill us all? What if you had Iran in the future?
This is some wild stuff. You know who Lindsey Graham is? He's the guy from that meme, the Holden Blood Feast meme. If you guys have never seen this, let me explain. It's an old senator, Holden Blood Feast, Republican, Iowa, 118 years old. His main priority is, please God, just let us nuke Iran. Nothing else matters. I'll do anything, please. I just want to see burning flesh one last time before I die. Respectable, bipartisan. This has been floating around for like a decade on the internet, and Lindsey Graham perfectly embodies that. Let me break down what we just heard.
Okay, so once again, let's back that up. This is the book of Job 13 and 4. But ye are forgers of lies. Once again, who is this pertaining to? The wicked. Who is the elite wicked? Edom, Esau, starting with Amalek. Okay? Ye are physicians. What is a physician? A healer of no value. So nothing these people bring to the table can help you, but adverse. This always gonna hurt you at the end. What does Sirach say? Sirach 10, Ecclesiastes, never trust thy enemy. Okay, and this is clearly the enemy right here. He's a big bullshitter, and ultimately he's doing his part, bringing ushering in the return of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and the host, the army. Once again, Esau is the end of this world, this current rulership, wicked rulership, and Jacob is the beginning. Okay?
First clip, while he's slurring and sounding all drunk, he's basically saying that the return on investment for toppling this regime is worth it. Just to back up, the Iranian regime is despicable. People need to be able to walk this line, because sometimes in the comments I see people conflating the regime and the citizenry. People will say, we're on the side of the regime and the citizens are bad plus years in the most despicable manner. The citizens, we should want to be liberated. We should want liberation for the citizens. What Lindsey Graham
Okay,
is
that's
saying
enough
right
on that. But let's get back to this though.
This is the Abu
Because once again, this is what Jake thinks of boots on the ground right here, having a good old time. Just enjoying the party, the barbecue. 802, 803, fresh. Now, look, what's the name of the first regime going in? 802. So, so look at that. Look, there's no mistaking in this. Okay.
This is the Abu 7. You were looking at a barrage of warheads, a cluster that was seen flying over the skies of Israel.
I wish every last one of those would hit the target and just wipe that place clearly out. Cheers.
Freaking a lot of people out in the area. We also have Tel Aviv getting hit. As you can see here, overnight it caused blackouts in some areas, although Tel Aviv looks to be up and operational at the moment. And we are also getting word that the 82nd Airborne Division of the U.S. military.
Now these bodies that you see going into those planes, they're not coming back. They're not returning from the east. This is World War III, okay? This is the true definition of boots on the ground.
Been put on high alert for a possible ground operation in Iran. That is per the Washington Post, and it seems they're gearing up for big action. They have replaced Khomeini with his son, and Trump is saying that he will not last long, so I expect action. How long this new leader lasts, yet to be seen, but I would say they're going to try to hit them hard, and there's going to be another wave of big-time strikes that hit Tehran.
Now, what's the scriptures got to say? Okay, Shalom. I got interrupted by a spam call. So we're at Isaiah 33, verse 1. The judgment of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Woe, woe, destruction, chaos to thee that spoileth. Who is thee? United Snakes of America with the sidekick, the ish people, the little hatters, the radish, okay, led by Ben Juyunat, Ben not a Jew, Ben Born Melkowski from the Poland area, okay? Edomite, Amalek, all right? Woe to thee that spoileth, and thou was not spoiled. See, it hasn't happened. That's why they call this place diversion. Babylon, because you haven't been attacked, okay? And dealt it treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee, okay? See, no other country or nation has done this to this nation. Had the things dropped that atomic bomb, okay, in World War II. All right, been at war. They said 242 years out of its 250 years existence. All right, that's all they know. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, when you just try to even take a slight little break, thou shalt deal treacherously with thee. Now, I want to get that in Bible comparisons. This is the NIV. Woe, same thing. Death, destruction, chaos. To you, destroyer. Once again, United States of America and its ally, the Israelis, not the real Israel. You so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, Yasharala, okay? No, the fakers. You who have not been destroyed, woe to you, betrayer. You who have not been betrayed, okay? Because, they're known as the treaty breakers. When you stop destroying, you will be destroyed. When you stop betraying, you will be betrayed. This is Isaiah 31:1 NLT. What sorrow awaits the Assyrians? And this is spiritual Assyrians, okay? The spiritual Babylonians, the spiritual Egyptians. You got it. Esau, who have destroyed others, but have never been destroyed yourselves. You betray others. Once again, breaking treaty from treaty, over 300 in this land, between the Reubenites and the Gadites and the northern tribes, over 300 broken, okay? And they got the nerve to call the northern tribers immigrants in their homeland. Okay, you betray others, but you have never been betrayed. Same thing, that boy, that you haven't been betrayed. When you are done destroying, you will be destroyed. When you are done betraying, you will be betrayed. Okay? And that's the time, and that's the energy that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah is on. This movie is coming to a conclusion, and it's gonna wrap up with a big, big bang. Them ICBMs floating selling across the world. Also, those high concentrated lasers coming from those chariots, not UFOs. We know what they are. They're the Lord's vehicles. Okay, and the hosts, the angels, right? Okay. And for the no, for Jake, the 1/3, the hope and the elect, which we know is the hopeful elect, because Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah has chosen his elect. So he knows, but we don't know. So we're known as the hopeful elect. Okay. This is Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. Wisdom and knowledge coming from what? From awareness, coming from taking heed that these apostles and elders and Akim are giving this warning, the prophets, okay? That's part of the stability, all right? Given through the Rakakodash, through the Holy Spirit, through Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, okay? And strength of salvation, once again, through Yahweh Shah. The fear of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah is his treasure. So you must fear him. You must have fear. This is not no nonchalant time. And oh yeah, I was gonna wrap this up, but I got one more to tack on. This is Ecclesiastes. Salakia. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season, okay? And a time to every purpose under the heavens. So, you got that whoa, whoa, boots on the ground. Yeah, it's real boots on the ground time. All right. We're going to scroll down a little bit. Verse 3, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, a time to build up. Once again, Esau is the end of the world. This current rulership, wicked rulership that we in. Jacob is the beginning of the rulership led through Yahweh Shai through righteousness. Okay, Yahweh Shai, and under him King David. Okay, through righteousness. The Wadi Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But right now we're at the end of Edom's time, of Esau's era. Okay, his rulership. And here's verse 8. Ecclesiastes 3 and 8. A time to love and a time to hate. So don't come with us with that. Oh, we don't hate. It's written throughout these scriptures. Once again, Psalms 139, spoken perfectly from King David. Your enemies are my enemies, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. I hate them with a perfect hatred. And what did Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai say? He's got indignation, righteous anger for these fools. Okay? For Amalek and the rest of his people, with the rest of the Edomites. Okay? And ultimately all the wicked, all 17 nations are gonna get it, but mainly Edom, okay? And you 2/3 are gonna temporarily get punished, on this side and come back as a promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in your right mind. But okay, this is once again Ecclesiastes 3 and 8, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war, okay, and a time of peace. Now you check the temperature, and we ain't talking about outside. You do some investigating and see what time that we in, and then know the purpose, all right? And with that, I pray that this has been edifying. This has been boots on the ground, damn 2/3 clowns. Shalom.